Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. The summer's gone and all the roses. Hey, Phillips here, and Alpha Wolf, and Great Alucard, and Empire Jeff, and Nacho, and Chrome, and Z Hills. Oh yeah, it seems like it's it's possible that our good friend Susan sent out some notifications. Hey, berries, and then Andrew. That sucked too. I was just doing my little ducks follow the Curtis. I don't know what that means, Sir Mike. Chrome, that was a good one. That was a good episode of Sakura. I just, for the reasons we talked about in the comments there, I just really like the familial aspects of it. Great song, Philip. Yeah. Come sail away, come sail away, come sail away with me. You guys know, not a great singer, but I enjoy singing. And I was going to do a series on the channel of just singing songs that I enjoy, that I like, and that will actually fit somewhat to my voice. And of course, right as I was planning that is when I got COVID. So that's not going to happen, at least for a little while yet, because I still can't breathe clearly and cleanly. Although I can't complain. I mean, most all the symptoms are gone. Basically now I just have, that hangover you get after you get a really bad cold or the flu. Even after the symptoms are gone, you got that little bit of like congestion in your head and everything. That's where I'm at. A-Man says, I honestly thought you were reacting to a video on Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy. I mean, Ted Bundy, Al Bundy, they're both funny guys. That's why it's funny though. That's why I titled the stream the way I did in making that video earlier, the reaction to Al Bundy's best insults. It really pushes home how ridiculous our society's gotten and how oversensitive it's gotten about everything. That, it's one thing. I don't think any comedy obviously should ever be limited or squelched, but it's one thing if somebody is actually attacking another person, particularly if that person isn't in the public spotlight. If you are, hey, that's part of it. I mean, I do this, that makes me a target. It's fair. But when you're making fun of stereotypes, or like Al Bundy, just making fun of fat women, so what? Who gives a fuck? I just don't understand. I guess what bothers me more than the fact that so many people are offended by these things are that so many of us are starting to buy into their offense. Not that we agree with it, but that we accept it. So like when it's commented, say on social media or something, somebody says, well, that was really inappropriate, rather than stepping up and saying, shut the fuck up. Who cares if you're offended? People tend to be more along the lines of, oh, yeah, I understand what you're saying. Now, it was just a joke. We don't need to placate people like that. Do we? Am I wrong? Oh, I know, Big Green. He says, God, I seriously forgot how funny that show was. I miss it. His one-liners and his put-downs were some of the, by far and away, greatest ever. Alpha says, society nowadays is softer than a 95-year-old dude's dick. I agree. And it's funny. I would almost be willing, because now when I write stand-up material and stuff, and I've thought about going back on the road again, it's not like my stand-up used to be, and that's not because I'm moving away from or afraid of saying anything that's offensive. You guys know me, I couldn't care less. It's just that as I've gotten older, I have found more humor in telling life stories and stuff like that. That's the only reason it's changed. But then I get feeling like this, and it's like, you know what? We just need some no limits humor. And I've never been one, I've never in my life gone on stage and told jokes for shock value. I went on stage and told jokes or stories that I thought were funny, and I just so happens that I have a peculiar sense of humor. But it's, I mean, we've got some comedians left who are unafraid. Dave Chappelle. Um, oh gosh. You guys will give me his name. Oh, right off the top of my head, it'll come to me. You guys, put it this way. Go ahead. If you guys list, who do you think are the current comedians who give no shits and will tell any joke they want? Bill Burr is what I was trying to think of, and who will tell any joke regardless. Wolverine says the Bundys were exalted. Rosa says Magnus Carlsen. When I hear that name, I think it wasn't Carlsen though. Who is the great power lifter, strongman, Magnus something? That's what I thought of, Rosa. Magnus Carlsen beat Wellesley so on move 25 in a rapid game of chess. That is the equivalent of a top-level boxing match ending in a knockout in the first round. Really? See, that I didn't know. I played chess when I was younger, but again, I don't follow it close enough to know that that's that significant a move. Hey, Philip, hey, we got a pussy pink sky. There's something that is entirely outside of what many people would find acceptable. The name of our $50 our $50 sky, pussy pink. Philip says there ain't no wings on a pachyderm. You're to fly. There ain't no wings on a barnyard pig. You're too fat to fly. And there ain't no wings on your big ass, and there ain't no wonder why. If you're getting on, I'm getting off. You're too fat to fly. There ain't no wings on a pachyderm. That's good, Philip. I like that one. I like that. I like that a lot. Ron White, he's a good example, Philip. Yeah, Ron White has no fear. One of my all-time favorite Ron White lines was when he was talking about getting thrown out of the bar. And he says, I didn't know how many of them it was going to take to throw my ass out of there, but I knew how many they were going to use. Yeah, he had some great stuff, Ron White. That's very true, Arthur. When people can't be wrong, they can't learn. I have never, that's one thing I'll say, or at least as I become an adult, I've never had a problem with admitting to being wrong or given the right set of facts and persuasion, admitting that my opinion on something might change. I think the only reason I say that is I think you're only cutting off your own nose if that's not the case. But you're right. You guys see it all the time here in the streams. How many times do you guys teach me something, or on some occasions even have helped to change my perspective on something just because you see something from a different angle? Nacho says, we've reached a stage where it's worse to be insulting than a serial killer. What a time. Yeah, Nacho, that's in some ways, when you think about it, that's almost true. As if you were to base that judge solely on people being like dragged on social media or something, or made a pariah, that's true. It's worse nowadays to say something that the masses will find offensive, or even not the masses, but the echo chambers will find offensive, than it is, like you say, to be a mass murderer. Barry says, last poster, I'm offended. Where is it, Barry's? Excuse me. I can buy into offense. What happens if the offense goes up? Does my stake in the offense go up or stay the same? I don't know. I'm not sure of all the, to be honest with you, I'm not sure of all the rules and how they work. Willie says, knock, knock. Who's there? She's in the attic. Up there writing their diary. Chrome says, oh, by the way, did you see Twitch got hacked? No. Really? Chrome says, oh, by the way, you see Twitch got hacked. A lot of interesting stuff leaked out, including all their creators' monthly income from Twitch. Lots of wealthy socialists. That feeds right. I got to look that up, Chrome. That feeds in right into what I've been saying all along. We all know that Twitch is an absolute cesspool shithole. But to me, there's nothing worse or people I have less respect for than anybody who has a Twitch following because they are on Twitch. Now, that's not to say anybody with a big Twitch following. I'm saying if you have a Twitch following because of your tweets, you're probably, no, I'm going to go out there and say it, you're an obnoxious douche. Because the only way those people have achieved that is typically they hang on somebody's dick, somebody's popular. Well, whether it was, now it could be, well, Biden doesn't tweet that much, but typically it was Trump. So you sit there and you wait all day for him to tweet and then immediately try to be the first one to respond and say something, really hardcore, defiant. So lemmings will jump on your bandwagon and go, oh, this is somebody we got to follow. Now, for all they know, the person who typed that could be a fucking pedophile or something. Who knows? They don't know them. It's just because they said something I can rally around. That's the simple, smooth minds that are out there in the Twitter sphere. Hanbu says we need Ted Bundy back. Oof, Curtis, hey Hanbu. Philip says people should just learn to react to being insulted in the following ways. Either ignore the guy or give as good as you get. That's always been my take, Philip. And if you can't do the latter, we invented the finger for a reason. Right. You have every right to react. And to be honest with you, okay, that extends further. You can say, well, they have every right to be offended. They do. And we have every right to laugh at you for being offended. And we have every right to laugh at somebody for being offended. Oh, my Fifi. Well, I don't think you should say that because you're distressing all marginalized people. No, if you make a joke about, let's say, okay, if you make a joke about illegal entry into the nation, it doesn't make you a racist. You can claim it if you want to. It means you made a joke about people jumping the border. It means you made a joke about people getting wet to come into the country. That's why they called them wetbacks. That's what it means. You may not like it, but I can laugh at you for being offended by it if I want, just like you can be, just as easily as you can be offended by it. Arthur says, Gura Gaur, just stop giving a damn what they think. That's what we need to do overall, Arthur. Well, even better yet, we need to, as a group, I think, just start mocking the perpetually offended because that just hurts the little fifis even more. Don't be afraid to do it. I mean, I would never, you're not calling to hurt anybody or anything. I'm talking about they want to cry, bitch, and moan that their little feelings got hurt about everything on social media. Respond to social media by mocking them and calling them the soft pussies that they are. Chrome says, here's the income list. Guy at the end is the one highlighted in image. Hassan owns a multi-million California mansion. Nephew of Sank figures. Hold on, I want to look at Chrome's link there. Just a humble working, living $200K paycheck to paycheck. What the hell? Let's see. Hassanabi. Wow. Central Committee. Jesus Christ. Ludwig. God damn. Those are some pretty significant payouts there. Well, like I say, I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, there would be a significant amount of money to be made on streaming sources such as that. That's what I should do with my Twitch. I should go on my Twitch. You guys are giving me too many good ideas. Now, if Twitch is saying that it really is a place for open exchange of ideas, and I know they have certain rules about, who you can offend and who you cannot offend, or what you can say, what you can't say. But even if you play within those rules, but pushing right up against the borders of them, if I want to go in there and I want to make fun of offended culture and poke fun at those who are easily offended and make some what I think would be apropos jokes. How long would it take them to cut me off? Because I really don't give a fuck if they cut me out of Twitch. That might be something to think about. Zerazul says, my dad and I bonded over Al Bundy's classics one episode at a time. That's some good quality humor right there. Al versus fat ladies at the shoe store. Yeah, Zerazul. That's like when I was watching that video earlier today. As soon as it faded into the shot in the shoe store, I was like, yeah, this is home. King Cheese says Twitch was supposed to be an outlet for gamers. True. But me and other talented gamers got overlooked by them type of people. Sucks. Yeah, and that's why you guys know I've had nothing to do with Twitch. Is because I don't like the way they're operated, the way they're run. I mean, it's so, their bias is so ridiculously over the top. Chrome says, don't resent them for making money. No, I don't. I know exactly what you're going to say. I resent people like Hassan for their hypocrisy. He's an eat the rich type while being a millionaire, hoards his own money, doesn't want anyone else to have it. No, I completely agree with you, Chrome. And that type of hypocrisy goes on all the time in the self-styled socialists. All the time. Twitch no longer for gamers, it's now for, well, yeah, Sync says, yeah, that's, I know, on the rare occasions I have popped over there for anything, typically isn't the just chatting section like the most popular? Let me take a look. Let me go to Twitch right now. Well, I'll be right back here, guys. Let's take a look at Twitch. Okay, Twitch. So let me.
Oh my god!
All right, let's go to browse categories. Okay, just chatting is the highest with 542,000 viewers right now. League of Legends is 444K. Wow, I didn't realize League was still that great guns. Battlefield, Grand Theft Auto 5. I want to play that on here again. I still can't get the goddamn game to quit glitching. We would have had more GTA 5 content on here. I can't figure out what it is. New World? I don't even know what that game is. Minecraft, Far Cry. But yep, just chatting. Okay, and who are the top just chatters? Oh, and here's that Hassanabi. He's right on top there. All right, hold on. I'm getting an ad break. I'll be right back to here. I'll check the chat while I'm looking at it. I want to see what's going on with his. How to be an eat the rich dumbass, Nolan says. Step 1, be rich. Step 2, scream about how rich people are evil. Step 3, pray that the people who agree with you are dumb enough to not realize you're rich. All right, what's going on here, Hassanabi?
More than that, other streamers stay safe, especially with the crazy stalkers and hogs out there.
It doesn't matter how much money you make, your Discord will never be as thriving as these Discord debate channels. I mean, okay, great. I don't want it to be a fucking debate Discord.
This shit is happening to you.
This guy looks like a real dipshit.
I think most people
Looks like a
figure out
pussy.
whose income. No, I mean you can definitely figure out my income.
Stop making money.
You can absolutely figure out my income because I fucking don't hide it. Like,
Oh, here he goes. Oh man, I can't even get into this right now. Oh, yeah, I might need to start using my Twitch here or there. Oh man, Trevor said, did Hassan's mom make him his nuggies yet? Yo, that's like the deal we've always had at over at the Goosh at our Patreon. It used to display how many donors we have and how much in donations. The reason I removed that, the amount we have, is because I try, and just because of the Japanese companies, keep everything as low profile as I can over there. So I told the gang, all you who have been Gooshers with me for some time know, when I removed it, I said, listen, this isn't to keep it from you guys. Any one of you can private message me at the Goosh anytime you want and ask what we're bringing in every month, and I'll be glad to tell you. It's not a secret. It's just that I just don't need it out there for public perusal from people of certain nations across the pond, is what it amounted to. But we don't have any secrets over there. I'd be glad to tell any of the gooshes, and I have had a couple of them ask, and just because again, it's not insulting to me at all, and I don't mind. Just asking how we're doing monetarily, how much does it bring in? Willie says, to be fair, the just chatting section I think has less to do with politics and more with pretty women showing their biggins. That seems to be the case, Willie. Yeah. Well, if I started just chatting over there. All right, now, how about this? If I started just chatting over there, can I do it shirtless? Or can I not do it shirtless because they don't let the women do it shirtless? I'll put on a tube top. That's what the world needs. Where's Lix? She would support this. I need her for I need her for moral support. Lix would support me doing it shirtless. Arthur says next post. Okay. My normal post is being censored, he says. Big surprise there, Arthur. Philip says, interestingly enough, Henry Ford was one of the first billionaires, but he hated rich people. I guess the more things change, the more they stay the same. Recently saw a documentary on him. See, I don't get that. I am not rich, never going to be rich, never have been rich. I don't have a problem with rich people. I have a problem with anybody that broke a law to get to any station in life. So if they came about their riches illegally, then yes, I would have an issue with it. But as far as a person being rich, I have no resentment towards them for it. Good for you. You made some sort of smart moves or created some product or service that was well received enough that you got a lot of money. Now, I can't stand people like Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg, but that has nothing to do with the fact that they're rich. It's in spite of the fact that they're rich. I just think they're obnoxious humans. That's interesting about Henry Ford, though. I did not know that, and it is weird. It is odd. I wonder sometimes too, though, if rich people don't think that they're endearing themselves to the masses by saying, even though I'm rich, I despise what the rich people have become. Ooh, I think it's kind of that, maybe. Zerzul says, 3-part below, vacation update you'll be proud of. Okay, Zerzul. Chrome says, now correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Hassan the guy who said America deserved 9/11? Oh, really? I didn't know that. Same politics as his uncle Sink, but even more extreme. Former The Young Turks presenter tossed his uncle under the bus. Wouldn't surprise me. Okay, Zerzul says, also I want to share a funny story. I just got back from vacation with my dad while I was in New Mexico. Hey! I used to live there. For 2 days, this cute short waitress with big boobies came up to me. Oh, I know her. And said, you look great, big bald man. I keep my head buzzed and have a big bushy beard. I immediately knew I had to win for gooshers everywhere. Got to feel lots of short waitress booby that night. Nice. I scored points for the gooshman and gooshing happened. Well done. I lived in New Mexico for several years, and I got to squeeze very little hot short waitress booby. By very little, I mean none. I think I need to go back. Things have changed. Could be. King Cheese says, I think it's more of a God complex type thing. Could be. Could be riding that, that God wave. Yeah, that's true. I read that, Wolverine. He said, didn't Zuckerberg lose billions because Facebook went down for 6 hours? But really, any gain or loss like that is just all on paper anyway. Doesn't really mean anything to him in his day-to-day life. Yes, you're right, Rosa. The weightlifter you were thinking about is Magnus or Magnuson. The 7-year reigning chess champion is Magnus Carlsen. He became a grandmaster at 13. Jesus Christ. Wow. Just adding some detail for the sake of it. No, you're right. That's exactly what I was trying to think of. And as soon as I saw that Magnus name, he came to mind. Excuse me. Yes. Boiled Raven says, remember when every e-girl was worried about Project Melody? Yeah. Well, how many times have we had, and you guys will remember probably the specific incidents, how many times over the recent years here have I made videos to correct people, other YouTubers, even surprisingly, Charlie, Moist Critical the one time, overreacting to stuff, that they had no idea about what they were talking about. You know, this is going to be the downfall of YouTube. This is going to kill all our free speech. And people just like to be reactionary. And that's another downside to current society. And people like to accept reactionary thoughts too. If somebody else is being reactionary to something, no sense in looking into it and seeing if they're actually right. Let's just all panic together type stuff. Philip says in Ford's case, it had a lot to do with his rural upbringing and his personal beliefs, though he did lean into the self-made man thing a lot. He believed that he achieved due to self-discipline and focus. Whereas, okay, I'll keep watching, Philip. Yeah, and I think that's fair. I mean, obviously, Henry Ford was a self-made man. That's why I say I never resent anybody getting rich. Good for you. Again, if you didn't break any laws, you didn't kill anybody to get there, hey, you got what you deserved. Okay, Arthur finally found a way to edit his post right so it will post. He says legalize prostitution. E-girls and OnlyFans will go out of business overnight, and those girls will actually have to do some work for the money. Still make a crap ton more than men, but I'm okay with it. Yeah, see, I don't have a problem with the e-girls making any money. Listen, if you've got something that the masses are willing to pay for, you should market it. That's the way I look at it. What the hell? Go out there and make a buck. I'm all for anybody hustling it up. Well, that's why it surprised me, King Cheese. He said, I like Moist because he usually is very well read up on situations. What was the specific topic, guys? What was it? And I even made it a point to say in my video that, because I like Charlie a lot. I don't want to seem like I was coming down on Charlie or busting his balls. It's just like, dude, you're not reading what the projected law says at all. You're absolutely reading it completely incorrectly. It's coming back to me. I'm trying to remember what it was about. Oh, shit. Was it? I can't remember the specifics. I'd have to go back and find the video. But again, obviously, the way we saw it turned out to be right, which there was never a question whether it was going to be right or not because I read the whole bill. Hold on, I just want to see. Okay, I haven't seen more of Phillips about. Oh, there it is. Most of the rich around that time period made their money the old-fashioned way. They inherited it. True. He also thought they were morally degenerate, and he probably wasn't wrong. But even that, and I get where he would be coming from on that. But and you see in social media now too how people hate so much on people because they inherited their wealth. Again, whether or not I think the individual person who inherited that wealth is a piece of shit, I may. It has nothing to do with their money. It doesn't affect me. It doesn't hurt me. And as far as them paying their fair share, first of all, rich people do pay their fair share of taxes. Corporations, that's a different thing. But if you have an issue with that, that's something that can be handled at the voting booth and through your legislation. But I don't believe anybody should be paying 90% or any exorbitant percentage of their earnings back to the government at any point. I don't care if it's over 10 billion. It's still their money. And just because others of us don't have that same amount of money doesn't make us entitled to theirs. I think it was something to do with internet law, Chrome. You're right. I can't remember the specifics. I just remember everybody was reading a lot of stuff into it that wasn't there. I remember the bill was very central focused on, it's almost coming back to me. Oh, it was very focused on taking down sites that all they do is re-upload existing material. That's what it was. And everybody thought, including Charlie, that it was another slam at people not being able to even use things within fair use. You know, you can't make a comment on this news report and use the clip anymore. And that's not what it said at all. And it was worded so specifically that there was no leeway. There was no wiggle room. It was very specifically targeting only that one specific group of pirates. It targeted pirates and nothing more. But surprisingly with Charlie, because again, he usually is well read on things, he was one of the ones leading the charge. And I made a couple videos about it going, listen, Everybody needs to calm the fuck down. That's not what it says at all. But people hear things and they like to take stuff and panic. Arthur says, e-girls only make dollars because prostitution is illegal. Well, I've always been for legalizing prostitution, Arthur, because I think you clean it up and everybody pays taxes and everything. It's on the up and up. So I'm in agreement with you that it should be legalized. I don't think it would have a huge significant impact on e-girls, Arthur, because I think a lot of the people who are patronizing the e-girls are not necessarily looking for an actual real life interaction, if you know what I'm saying, especially like married guys and stuff who do a lot of supporting of the e-girls. So it might give them a hit. I don't think it would be a hugely substantial one. Philip says, of course, this was after he'd screwed his investors out of their share of his company. Oh shit, I didn't know that. Making him sole owner. Investors were parasites, apparently. He also built himself a private 19th century village as a personal retreat. I didn't know. I love Philip's knowledge. Seriously. That's some good shit. I had no idea. When I think about it, I know basically nothing about Henry Ford, other than that, hey, he came up with the assembly line and he made Ford cars. I mean, and made a lot of money doing it. Excuse me, sorry guys. I knew none of that stuff about him. Damn. Trevor says the only reason prostitution is illegal is that government can't regulate it. I'm not sure what you mean, Trevor. Well, of course, it's legal in Nevada, and it's been working fine there for decades, for generations. I really don't see a reason for it not to be legal. I don't see. We should not be legislating by morality. It's something that there has been obviously there's been a market for it since the dawn of time. It's not going away. So rather than keep fighting, and what's important is nobody else is hurt by it. Okay? Only the people involved in the transactions are the ones involved. It's not even like where you can take the case and say, drug dealers are hurting a lot of people by extension, and they are, by giving people the means to be drugged up out of their minds and do really, really egregious things. You're talking about a transaction between a couple of consenting adults. If it were all legal, who cares? Nobody's hurt. Chrome says, Twitch became politics, bathtub streamers, and people who are TSP level. I've been looking for first-time Metroid streams leading up to the new game. It's painful watching people blame the games. It is unfortunate. I mean, Twitch is just, like you say, it was such a cool little niche to go in there and just watch gaming streamers and see your favorite game played and played by people who play it well. I used to do it because we know I don't play well, so it's fun to go in and watch somebody who can kick some ass sometimes, whether it's Call of Duty or whatever the case may be. Willie says, thoughts on the Gabby Petito case and how Dog joined the hunt for Brian Laundrie. I do like the meme that's been going around saying, it said, if Dog the bounty hunter is the one who brings Brian Laundrie to justice, I'm never paying taxes again in my life. I don't think I have any earth-shattering thoughts. I mean, I think Brian Laundrie and his family certainly appear to me to be garbage. And because of the way things must be stated, innocence until guilt is proven, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that I think it will at some point be proven that Brian Laundrie was the cause of Gabby Petito's demise. And because of that, that pretty much should tell you how I feel about Brian Laundrie and anybody who's covering up for him. Krusty says, history is vast, like a Yo Mama joke, and detailed, like some bizarre hentai. Rosa says, you know that there is a shortage of hot men studs being revealing for women. I need some hot men in shorts and crop tops showing off their muscles on Twitch. Well, I guess if there's a need, I guess. So what do we call the What do we call the show, guys? Pure Sexy Time with Curtis Candy? No, I think actually, if I was to do something strictly on Twitch, we would just call it Not for the Easily Offended. And the conversations would all be in that direction. And the fact that I'm not wearing a shirt will tell you that you can't be easily offended to be there because it would be offensive. Philip says, that's why the Dodge brothers went into business for themselves. They were two of his partners. I didn't know that either. If I knew the name of the documentary, I'd highly recommend watching it. I think it was on Netflix or Amazon. I did not know that either, Philip. I didn't know that the Dodge boys had worked for Ford prior. That's really cool. I'm sure there's a lot of great stories of just in general, of the early days of the Industrial Revolution type stuff. Arthur says it lowers sex crime, violent crime, and even drug crime. It balances power between the sexes, gives men an outlet, and gives women more opportunities. Yeah, again, you definitely don't have to convince me, Arthur. I think it should be legalized. Always have. Always have thought so. And again, the thing that surprises me about it is it's not conjecture. We have a living, working demonstration to go by. Because again, it's been legal in Vegas for decades. No issues. Willie says, Sweet with Candy, Sweet Candy, good titles. That's true. Hey guys, how about this? How about we call it White Panel Van? Rosa says, people love drama. I personally hate it. I don't understand why people love it so much. It's just tiring. It's particularly political drama. That is the thing now, Rosa. And I mean, this country is so insanely diametrically opposed now. The vitriol is like nothing I've ever seen in my life. Unfortunately, I don't think there's any coming back from it until something really major happens. Chrome says, like, genuinely, I could probably sponsor Super Metroid as a G100, and you would in all sincerity do better at the game than most of the streams I've seen, really. And say less stupid things or blame the game. I will agree with you on that, Chrome. There are a lot of... I don't want this to sound haughty or something. I do consider myself to be rather good at public speaking. I've been doing it my whole adult life. So that said, I've noticed there are a lot of people doing live streams and relying on conversation that shouldn't be. And I guess where that comes out the most for us is, again, you guys know what Disney nuts we are. When you watch those Disney World live streams, we've gotten to where almost all of them, and there's a bunch of them, we have to turn the volume down. And if it were just me, I'd say, okay, I'm being a dick. I'm being too nitpicky. But my wife is the exact same way. She's like, how come these people are so terrible? And what it comes down to is what I've been able to determine. If you're doing a Disney World live stream, people are tuning in because they want to see what's going on at the parks. They want to see what the crowd levels are like. They want to see the rides, so on and so forth. The host or hostess is secondary to it all. But you can tell the difference between the one group, there's two of them, that work together on it, that are by far and away the biggest, by far the hugest, are the ones who actually are interesting to listen to and have a very likable, relatable style on air. But the rest of them are awful. Just terrible. All these speech crutches in there. Inability to really relate to the audience and what they're saying. It's bad. If you don't believe me, just do a YouTube search sometime on Disney World live stream. Watch the stream, and if it's not done by a channel called Resort TV 1, you'll see exactly what I mean. Philip says, used to be a sign outside of an army base in World War II. Prostitution is an institution. So much of one that the French had official military brothels. I didn't know that. One American general, Charles Gerhardt, actually, okay, we gotta wait for more. Well, in fairness, though, the French had plenty of time for brothels and everything, because really, all they had to worry about was having the white flag at the ready. Other than that, there wasn't a lot to be done. It's fun being mean to the French. Excuse me. Rosa says, is it really our monkey? Is that supposed to be racist? If I have to remind you that I am a half Latino, transgender, and he is a white, straight, cis-net male. Sorry, but men don't have an opinion on the subject. You're not impressed enough. Spazdev says, I would like Al Bundy back, but it would probably not be good. Just look at some of the sitcom revivals like Arrested Development. First 3 seasons are masterpiece, however, season 4 and 5 are garbage. Yeah, because people give into it. People give into it. Except for those few exceptions as far as stand-ups that we've talked about. People play along. Oh, well, if it's going to hurt your feelings, well, we'll change it. Who gives a fuck if somebody's feelings are hurt? Who cares? Get over it. Or don't. Who gives a shit? Hold on. Let's see if I can see the rest. I don't want to miss the rest of Philip's story. We're talking about the brothels. Oh, okay. Monkey equals ape. Gotcha. Okay. All right. I didn't put that one together. I was like, our monkey. I was like, r/monkey. Is that over at Reddit? Is it really rape? Rosa says. Okay. If I have to remind you that I'm a half Latino transgender and he is a white, straight, cisnet male. Sorry, but men don't have it. Okay, now I gotcha. Yeah, it made more sense. Oh, okay. And Philip says, tried to emulate this practice during the Battle of Brest. This got him in some pretty hot water. Of course, his brothel was nowhere near as safe as the French ones. Girls had VD. Oops. Oops. Sorry, boys. Need to make a new military, one of their old slide presentations. That burning down there. That itch down there. What to do. I remember that, Smokey Loki. Married with Children suffered from poor ratings early on and was close to being canceled until a woman who hated the show sent in multiple complaints, which brought more attention to the show. Yes, I remember that, Smokey Loki, that it almost didn't make it. And that actually, you're right, that actually brought around attention to it. And that was back in the day when to complain, you had to write in. You had to actually write letters. And that was some beautiful karma right there, actually. Nolan says, do you think the French soldiers in the brothel used to wave the white flag when they finished? Hopefully they waited until they finished. Or on top of being pussies, the French army would have had to worry about having blue balls, too. But, there's got to be an impetus to want to grab that white flag and get it out there. Philip says, had a cute name for it, too. Gerhardt was originally a cavalry officer. He named it the 29th Infantry Division's Riding School. All right, riding school? That's quality. I like that. that's a positive. Dark Magician says, but anyway, I just finished watching the entire series of Dragon Ball Super. Oh, good show. Good show. I know it gets somewhat mixed reviews. I loved Super. I had a really good time with it. Yeah, I like Super a lot. Nolan says, wait, maybe that's why the flag is white. The flag of sticky stuff. That's right. We couldn't have an official sticky stuff flag because we ain't waving no white flag here. The one thing we're not going to do is give up. All right, how long do you think the channel would last if say I I shouldn't even attempt this. Say I put out like in the community section a poll and let you guys pick a topic and I have to make 5 jokes about that topic and record a video of them. Yeah, I'm asking for problems there, huh? Rosa says our flag is white because our sticky stuff is problematic. Nolan says, oh, Curtis is going to put out his poll. Damn right. Excuse me while I get out the poll. Poll is really overstating things. Pencil. Yarn. Let's see. Instant termination of your YouTube account. Probably Big Green. Probably. I'm doing good, Callum. I do believe you're royally screwed, Kaiser says. Yeah, I think you guys would probably be right. Doesn't mean that it's out of the question, though. Well, he says next post. Fun fact. I'm a Doctor Who fan, so is Braxton. If I'm not mistaken, he was. And Jodie Whittaker is leaving the show after season 13. I'd be happy about that if they weren't probably casting a trans doctor. Are they really? See, I have no problem with, obviously, I don't have a problem with trans people. So I don't have a problem with any casting of that sort, if it makes sense. I just don't like casting of anybody specifically by any designation, whether it's color or sexual orientation or whatever the case may be, just because they want to prove something. They want to prove themselves accommodating to. I just think that's disingenuous bullshit. But I don't know enough about the show to comment. I really don't know. Brax doesn't follow it as much as he used to. I think he's in touch with it somewhat, but he used to be way into it. Jack Queen says super racist against the Polish today. Yeah, Philip. Excuse me while I whip this out. Oh, could you imagine if they made that movie today? Blazing Saddles? Yeah. Arthur says, even the French hate France. On that note, I'm almost glad that Australia is so crappy right now because it takes the scorn off of America for a bit. Wow, that's crazy what's going on over there. And the cops are laying some serious fucking beatdowns, aren't they? Jesus Christ, they got a little carried away. I saw a couple video clips that were like, dude, that's where they maced the shit out of that woman, and the rumor is she later died. And I mean, they shoved her to the ground, so I don't think she was anything of a threat anymore. And then instead of just moving on after they shoved her to the ground, they just filled her face with mace. It's like, wow. Yeah, Philip, Mango Light Candy. Good old Alex Karras. He was one of the first ex-athletes to really make it somewhat big, because he had the movie career, Mongo, things like that. And then he was the dad in TV series Webster. And he used to play defensive line for the Lions. Rosa says, Curtis, make a joke with the following 3 words in your sentence: transgender, Jew, Auschwitz. I could, Rosa. I don't know if that's the hill I want to die on right here. Susan's sitting at YouTube HQ right now with her finger on the fuck you button. Dark Magician says, okay, when you were watching DBZA, I kind of like Chaozu taking on Krillin, but at the same time I feel bad for Krillin. There's a lot of times you feel bad for Krillin. Lude says, honestly, at this point, if all the shit that's been said in the stream, VOD's videos on delivery. Okay. The stream VODs that are still up hasn't gotten the channel taken down. Anything you make won't. Maybe I'm hopelessly underestimating you. There's some truth to what you said, and there's some concern about the last sentence. Yes. If you guys knew when I used to do stand-up for a living back in the late 80s, early 90s, you guys know what my sense of humor is like. And I've always told you, what you see here, what we do here, what you see on any of my videos, in the live streams, that's who I am. I'm the same way live on stage. Who just fucking dove? Somebody just dove off the shelf back here. I think it was it 18? I think 18 just took a header. How did we hurt her feelings? At least she was good enough to kill herself rather than just complain. But yes, as I was starting to say, yeah, my sense of humor live goes, and again, I never said anything trying to be controversial. It's just the things I found funny. But as I've also told you guys, and I still stand by it, to this day, I had never had anybody who was a part of the group that I may have been lampooning, making fun of, whatever, come up to me and complain. Any complaints came from always white do-gooders speaking up on somebody else's behalf. And I will tell you this, if it makes you feel any better, complaining to me about it was probably the most unsatisfying thing they've ever done, because I would just laugh at them and mock them more. It was Chrome. It was 18? Why did she... You guys can see somewhat behind me because of this giant fucking melon. Did she give any last words? Did she say why she had enough? Or, I mean, I can't blame her for bailing, but it would have been nice if she would have let us know why. At least she was 18, Wolverine says. Simo says, you are so totally awesome. Well, thanks, Simo. I appreciate that. It's nice of you to say. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I knew all about this, Chrome. I can't wait. She says, by the way, anyone tell you that they're redoing the Demon Slayer film for season 2? Yeah, splitting up into 7 episodes. They're reusing the animation from the film, but adding some new scenes. The arc will be like 6 episodes. 7, I think it is. Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait. Philip says, Facebook has actually banned news posts from Australia. I didn't know that. Don't know if that was on the Australian government's orders or not. If it was, it's pretty fucked up that Facebook would take orders from the Australian government. Wow, I didn't know that. Arthur says, is there a decent non-stick pan in existence? I do not have the answer for that. Timothy says our flag would probably be a yellow sock color. Yeah. But specifically a yellow sock color of a sock that didn't start out as yellow. It worked its way there. Yeah. Jesus Christ, Rosa. A Jewish woman was slaving in Auschwitz once. She's making the joke out of it with the words she had outlined, and told the guard, I can't do this anymore. I'm not a man. Then the transgender came and told her that was offensive and ran into the electric fence. Jesus Christ. Simo says, what is your favorite scary movie? A lot of times I don't have specific favorites on things, like, as much as I'm an anime nerd, I don't have a specific favorite anime because it depends on what I'm in the mood for. So a lot of times I just have like elite lists, but you hit one of the areas where I do have a favorite. My favorite scary movie of all time is The Shining. Just because I think Jack Nicholson's performance in that just made it so fucking unsettling. And Jack Nicholson, from a lot of accounts, he may be a douche, but goddamn, that guy can act. Woof. Chrome says 18 fell face first into the wood, then tumbled again off the shelf. That forehead is heavy. That's what it is too, Chrome. It's the goddamn weight of the forehead. Hey, I've got to stop, and I apologize to you guys for not doing it more often. And I know a lot of our mods are here can tell me. I got to stop back at the Discord. I promise I'll get back in there just to check in on how things are doing. I was doing good for a while, and then I forget. But mainly, we just haven't seen Em in quite some time. Everything's okay, right, guys? Because I know Em is in the Discord a lot. And I just like checking on people when it's our real regulars, people that are here every day, and then suddenly I don't see them at all. I know Em's been busy. She told me that. But I just want to make sure everything is okay and we're still hearing from her. Philip says, unless it's a locally Canadian thing that didn't happen in the States or anywhere else, and it's just Trudeau not wanting Canadians to get any ideas. Oh, fucking Trudeau. Well, you know how I feel about Trudeau, Philip, and fortunately it mirrors the same way you feel about Trudeau. Let's see. Chrome says, yes, you last posted on the 4th. Oh, okay, just a couple days ago. Okay, good. Good. The Discord has been real quiet recently. That's partially my fault too. I've got to think up some stuff, and I know Coltonius works his ass off trying to keep membership up there. I got to think of some good stuff to add to bring over to the Discord to get people to And that's my fault for not I don't even know what types of things that Discord itself has to offer that I could provide in there to give people more of an impetus to come in and hang out. And Chrome says M last posted a pic on the 4th calling Jack drunk. That's our M. And I know Jack was here. I don't know if he's still in or not. I was going to say, Jack, do you remember that? But Jack would just be like, which time she called me drunk? You got to be way more specific than that. Rosa says, what is the difference between a Khan and a Sultan? A Khan can do it. A Sultan sulks on it. Ha ha, funny me is. Chrome says there's bots you can use on Discord to play games. Really? Yeah, I would like to find something to try and help pop things up around there a little bit. And again, that's my fault too for not making it a point to get over there. But especially now, again, you guys know we got that Disney trip coming in November. That's why things are so tight for me now until then. I'm actually, as much as Disney's great and fun, fuck Bob Chapek who runs it, fuck him hard. And if it weren't for the fact that this was a family thing that had been put together for so long, I wouldn't be fucking going. That's how pissed off I am about Disney. But all that said, I will be glad when this trip's over, because then I have nothing major planned. And when I'm not doing stuff, to get ahead to where I have a little time in my days, it opens up so many more things for me to be able to do. Really? Arthur says, don't worry, all Discords have been slow lately. Wonder why that is. Is it just like, do you think it's a trend? Because Discord skyrocketed to popularity and just kind of leveling off and hitting the other side type thing? Excuse me. If Joe Kage's on Discord, why isn't he in the mod one? I don't know about, Wolverine. I don't know. Is he on Discord? I know he's been in the comment section of the Goosh fairly regularly again, because I've been chatting with him in there, here or there. I just know he had a lot going on too. That's why we didn't see him as much. He told me. Excuse me. But as long as I've seen people fairly recently, I don't think anything about it. And again, Em had told me that life has just gotten really busy for her, so I understand that. It just had been a long time, and I want to make sure everything was okay. Oh, you haven't seen Joe and Munslewed? Yeah, he has. I know Joe's okay just because, again, he's commented on some of the videos over at the Goosh. Him and I were talking, so it's probably been a couple weeks now, but fairly recently that I've been talking to him there. But he had told me some time ago that, similar to M, he's just got a lot going on at the time. Lost Stranger says the only Discord bot game seen was some Pokemon bot. You catch Pokemon and battle with others, and dice bots for when played D&D on Discord. Oh, okay. Arthur says more in real life events going on social media. That makes sense. I didn't even think about that. Or what Arthur's saying makes sense is things are starting to open up again. I mean, you have shows now. I mean, all my comedian friends are back to working shows and stuff, and that's what got me thinking about going out and doing it when I get the chance. And yeah, so that, I guess that just tends to follow, huh? That would make sense. Spazdev says, been meaning to join the Discord server, but I don't use it much. If I remember, I'll join it after the stream. Yeah, that's my fault too, Spazdev, for me not being in there more often than I should. And I found too, even like when I have things to share, like the other day, because Twitter's such a cesspool. I keep it just because there are some people who follow me on Twitter, and I'd always said, I'll post when I put up a video and stuff, so I continue to do that. But the socialization I like to do is with you guys. So whenever I find one of these stupid little things that tickles me, makes me laugh, most recently the Gooshers will tell you, I just posted over at the Goosh because it's a fun little community. And that was when I got this email notification from my PayPal account, big bold print, that I just received cash back on my PayPal MasterCard business card. And I got 56 fucking cents. And when you come into that kind of money, come on, let's face it, you have to gloat. So I had to go in and I had to show everybody, it's a pecking order. So I want everybody to know that I'm rolling in it. I had to show everybody. Well, it doesn't make me a bad guy. I mean, I might be a bad guy, but that's not proof of it. Jack says, my internet messed up, but just in case you didn't see it, Emma's fine. Good. She went... Excuse me. Sorry, guys. She went back to school, is still running her own business, is also helping her mom out with her business. I figured she was just busy. Busy. That's a new word for today. Write it down, goddammit. Busy. What the fuck? But I figured she was just busy. Well, that's good. I'll pop into the Discord. But I just want to know, I was thinking about it because I do miss you guys when I don't see you around. But it's good to know when people are just... Sometimes being busy is a good thing in life. Chrome says 56 cents. I'm surprised it's not enough to buy a Kit Kat. Not over here, Chrome. That is Spaz Kid's favorite candy, Kit Kat. So I can tell you the prices. If you go to, there's a Dollar General store, right? Actually, you guys know how close the train is. Well, the Dollar General store sits almost on top of the tracks. I mean, the trains are within 12, 13 feet of the wall of the Dollar General. So over there, now you can get the regular Kit Kats. I think they're 95 cents or $1. They used to be 75 for the longest time, and then they upped them. And then there's a convenience store going the other way from my house, but they only have the super giant Kit Kats, and it's a convenience store, so that cost me like $2 or some shit. So yes, that's the only way I knew offhand when you had mentioned that. That's the only way I knew offhand I couldn't quite get a Kit Kat for that, because I buy them for Brax all the time. Bob says, when Chris Chan gets out of jail, do you think some women would be stupid enough to get pregnant by him for the fame? Oh. Do I think that there are people who make poor enough decisions to do that? Yes, unfortunately, Bob, I do. I wish I could say no to that, but yeah, I think there are. I haven't tried that yet, Nolan. He says dark chocolate mint is the superior Kit Kat. I've seen them, and I love mint. I'll have to try that at some point. I still haven't tried one. Oh, me too, Mr. Shank. He says I like Reese's cups. Yeah, Reese's are always right at the top of my candy list. Reese's, the classic Hershey bar. Yeah, peanut butter cups are fucking awesome. Lost Ranger figured it out. He says Disney is Brazil's Disney. I like that. Let's go with that. I have not seen Squid Game, Bebo. I've been reading a lot about it. I kind of want to check it out now just because there's been so much buzz about it, but no, I haven't seen it yet. Chrome says, oh wow, you can buy a pack of Kit Kats here for £2. £1 in some places. Like the Kit Kat Chunky is £1 for a pack of 4. Really? No, and again, those Dollar General stores are cheap. They're right up there with Walmart, those type prices. And the Kit Kat there, like I say, it's either 95 cents or $1 for one. Now, if you do buy them in packages, you can get a better deal. I didn't think of that. Still wouldn't be as good as what you're describing. But I know if you buy like the little sleeves of them, you get a little bit of a better deal on it. But still wouldn't be that good. All chocolate things are good. Alucard, you are not wrong. That would be correct. So, I've heard that before too, Smokey Loki, and never thought to do it. He says, put a Reese's cup in the freezer for 10 minutes and the flavor's enhanced. I hadn't thought about that in ages until you just wrote it. But I had heard that before, and I still yet to try. I'll have to try that. Really? Bebo says, by the way, Kit Kats are like 25 pence usually in British corner shops. Really? I wonder, are they the same size as ours? Huh. Yeah, because ours, you don't, that's why when Chrome and I had been talking about that 56 cents when I posted it, and said enough to buy a Kit Kat, I had said something about, yeah, if I stop along the way and get a bunch of soda bottles to redeem for the nickel deposits. Because, yeah, you can't get one for 56 cents here. Excuse me. Jack says, man, my internet is crazy. 5G my ass. Jack's going to wreck some shit. Listen, when Jack starts talking in the third person, shit's going down. Somebody's getting fucked up. No one says Kit Kat in other countries. A pack costs £2. Kit Kat in America. Some packs weigh 2 pounds. Ain't that the truth, Nolan? Yeah. America refuses to let anybody get ahead of them on pure gluttony. All right, guys. Well, I gotta go. Hey, this was a really fun stream. I'm glad there are so many of you that feel the same way I do. That it's just sad how soft we become and how easily offended. And again, when I say that, listen, I can be offended too. It's rare, but I can be offended. The difference is if I see something that offends me, I turn the channel, or I walk away, or if it's a YouTube channel, I don't go to that YouTube channel anymore. Never does it occur to me to make it my goal to make sure and take down these people who have been silly enough to offend me with their thoughts. Hell, I see shit that's offensive all the time when I think about it. I mean, anything to do with government having more control over our life is wildly offensive to me, and I see comments to that vein all the time. And what I do is, yeah, I walk away. I might mock them a little first, and then I walk away. But I don't know. But anyway, I'm glad so many of you guys at least agree with me on it. So it is Wednesday. Yeah, it's hump day. You know, it's the greatest thing about Wednesday is, remember, it's not Monday. We are much closer to Friday. Thursdays are very hopeful. Fridays are the fucking awesome. We're almost done with Wednesday. The stream was later than usual. So this is some for a Wednesday. I'm going to say if Wednesday sticky stuff is usually like a 55% grade, this is about a 62%, which is higher than I got, I think, on any test I ever took in my high school career. So that's saying something. Not much, but saying something. Here it comes. Pamfu, pamfu. Sticky stuff for you, sticky stuff for you, sticky stuff for you, sticky stuff for you. 62% sticky stuff. Because we'll bang, okay? Flashily like Buggy. And as always, most importantly, and it is always so fucking beyond 100%, it's plus ultra. Goosh, 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 goosh. Goosh.